I am cutting up some pineapples for a separate recipe for some pineapple upside down cake jam. And so as I'm cutting this up, as you can see, there's a lot of pills. There's like so much good pineapple still on this pill. And so I'm saving those and I'm going to do a pineapple jelly. And so that's what this video is about, how to make use of these pills. This regular pineapple chunks will be used in the upside down cake recipe. I'll have a separate video on that, but I want to give this a shot of the jelly just to make use of something that would normally be thrown away. So I have the pineapple peelings and the core in this pot, and you just cover it with water. Do not use the bottom end or the top end. You just want the side peelings and the core. Put it on the stove, just covered with water, and bring to a boil. So for the pineapple peelings, you bring it to a boil. I already brought it to a boil, but at this point I needed the burner. And so perfect timing. So once it boils, you take it off the heat and you let it cool. And once it's cool, cover it and put it in the refrigerator for 24 hours. All right, it has been a day and a half since I put these in the fridge. So now I took the lid off and you can just smell the pineapple. It smells so good. So now we bring it back to a boil. And then once it's back to a boil, then we strain out the liquid, and that liquid is what we're gonna use to make the pineapple jelly. So as that's coming to a boil, I got my canner ready, got my jars sterilized in there to get them to a heat level. I watched them earlier, but a lot of canners mention this, and I learned this the hard way. You want your jars warm when you put them back into the water canner, because if they're cold jars, they will crack. And when I first started canning, like 5 or 6 years ago, a jar cracked that had pickles in it, and so then everything smelled like vinegar. It was really bad. So besides wanting your jars sterilized, it's important to have them warmed up, because something really cold and hot water is going to make it break. So yeah, a lot of canners mention that. I just wanted to mention that again, because I definitely have learned the hard way what happens when you put a cold jar in boiling water. So anyway, this is gonna take a little bit. I'm gonna get my ingredients together. I found this recipe online, and I will, if I can find the website. I don't even know if it was from a website, if it was someone's comment somewhere, but it's pretty straightforward. So you want 4 cups of pineapple juice made from the scraps, 5.5 cups of sugar, 2 tablespoons of lemon juice, 1 box of regular pectin, a thin pat of butter. So remember, you do the butter to prevent foaming. And so let me get all the ingredients gathered together. And I will Google this to see if I got this from a website. I really like to credit people when I can, but sometimes I've had these for a while, and so I don't know who to credit. The internet is a wonderful place, but it's just sometimes too much information, and I can't always remember where I got the information. All right, now that I brought the pineapple juice up to boil, I let it simmer for about 5 minutes while my canning water started to get warmer. Now I'm ready to strain out the juices. I got my typical cheesecloth over my little strainer. I need 4 cups of pineapple juice. So I'm gonna just spoon that through the cheesecloth. And this is my favorite Pampered Chef cup mug thing, and it's 4 cups exactly at that line. And it works out because most of my jelly recipes require 4 cups of juice. All right, here's the 4 cups of liquid. And what I've learned with making all this jelly for the last couple weeks is I always cut it extremely close. Like, there's barely any liquid left. So whoever made these recipes, they're very, very precise. All right, so now I have the 4 cups of pineapple juice, a pat of butter, 2 tablespoons of lemon juice and the pectin mixed in with a little sugar. The sugar that's part of your 4.5 cups. It seems to help dissolve the pectin better when you mix it in with a little sugar. I've noticed that on a bunch of recipes, and I've started doing it, and I have not had any jelly fills. The one jelly fill I had was in the beginning last month, and that was like before I knew the mix the pectin with the sugar, and I also feel like I had old pectin. So definitely check the dates on your pectin boxes. If you read people's reviews, there's people who say they have no problem with expired pectin, but then you have people who say the expired pectin doesn't work for them. In my experience, expired pectin does not work. So definitely check your dates when you buy boxes of pectin at the grocery store. That's where I get mine. I know you can buy like pectin in bulk, but I just prefer the boxes, especially now that I know that it could expire. So I just would be afraid I would buy a big box of pectin and then not use it all in 1 year. So anyway, gonna bring this to a boil, keep stirring, and once it's at the boiling, boil it for 1 minute, add the sugar, stir in the sugar, boil that for 1 more minute, and then you put it in your jars. Pretty standard jelly recipe. All right, I filled up 5 jars so far, but I need some more space, so I'm going to just debubble these real quick. Try my best. And then wipe the rims down and put the lids on. I just wanted to show you this beautiful golden color. So beautiful. Oh man. Sometimes debubbling is a little time consuming. It doesn't have to be perfect. It's just you want the air bubbles to pop. You'll get your seal quicker. And it just looks prettier. But I think it's mainly for the seal because it won't completely seal until all the air is removed. And then like when you have bubbles and like when you can vegetables, when the bubbles, if you don't debubble it and the bubbles pop while boiling, it will change the water level and will change your headspace. And headspace is definitely something you need to worry about. So for jellies, the basic headspace rule is 1/2 inch. Anyway, I'm gonna wipe these rims down and get these in my canner and move these jars so I'm just trying to, I don't want to like fill it over this jar because I'm just gonna leak it everywhere. All right, so it made 7.5 jars. So I will lower this into the water, put the lid on. Once it reaches boiling, water bath it for 10 minutes. So I said it made 7.5 jars. So this jar is only half full. You don't want to water bath can something that's not full to the headspace limit. So I am just going to let it cool down and then refrigerate it, and I will eat this week. So the water bathing is not making it gel. The water bathing is what's giving it a shelf-stable life. So this jelly should still gel as it sits on the counter and cools down. And I need to get this lowered. All right, still syrupy, but I just want to do a quick taste test. See if it tastes like pineapple. Oh my God. That is so good. I want to try another sample, but I don't want to contaminate that jar. Here's a fork that's handy. That ain't gonna work. It definitely tastes like pineapple. I am just totally amazed that boiling this twice and soaking it in water overnight, just these pineapple scraps, still had flavor and was good enough juice to make pineapple jelly. I am so excited. This is just my extra cheesecloth. Yeah, I could have technically washed it and reused it, but I don't. Cheesecloth is very cheap, easy to get a hold of. When I strain stuff, I use cheesecloth. But if you don't have cheesecloth, you can just use a cotton pillowcase. Just not even cotton. I don't think you're supposed to use cotton. Just some kind of like clean white material that you have, like a tea towel. You don't just have to use cheesecloth. I think I've even read where people use pantyhose to strain. So since I have all of that readily available, I am all about saving money, but this is one thing I'm not going to wash and just throw away and buy more, because I bought a package of cheesecloth and I've used like 5 different pieces and I still have like plenty that will probably last me for years. So anyway, this is going to be boiling. Once I take it out, once it sets, I will show the clip, and then I might also, once this sets, do a taste test with my husband to see what he thinks, because he loves pineapple even more than I do. All right, here is the jelly the next day. It hasn't even been 24 hours, so they haven't set completely. They're definitely thicker than they were last night, but they still move a little like a medium point. So, but again, it's been less than 24 hours, and I find that my jelly has definitely been taking 24 hours to set. And I was also reading that sometimes, like, if you're gonna have a problem with jelly setting, it's gonna be pineapple, because just the acidity of the pineapple sometimes doesn't quite work with the pectin. But that's like when you like make Jello salads with pineapple in it, it doesn't always work. So I'm hopeful it'll still set, but if it doesn't, the syrup would be a great topping on ice cream or on cake, so I'm not really worried. I'm pretty sure my husband would be okay with this one not setting. Tastes just like pineapple. It's really cool. I didn't get it on video last night, but my husband did do a taste test. He loves it. He says it tastes just like pineapple. He's ready to go buy more pineapples, but I'm like, no, I got other canning ideas first. So this is plenty for us for a couple years. And yeah, thanks for watching. Please hit the like and subscribe buttons, and I will see you later.